Caleb DMTG is live. Day 205 out of 365. Not bad. Get lucky seems like a good strat. 500 fucking people? There's 500 goddamn people in this thing. Hey, sup, Bill. Hey, Hamburger Hank. Thanks for the luck. I don't need that fucking luck. Luck hoarding over here. Ooh, that's a good strat, Bill. Shoot for 8th, and you'll need to beat 492 of them. I've gotten 8th in a couple of these. The top 4, of course, win the RCQ. You get the invite. It'd be nice to get top 4. Hey, thanks, Nicole. Appreciate you. Hey, Nexora. Greetings from Ireland. You don't get to catch me live as often anymore because of the time change, but you wish me much luck. I appreciate that. Hell yeah. I'm trying to just, like, inject this caffeine into my veins. Yeah, good to have you here, Nicole. The chat was not the same as the foil set you win on Moto or in real life. It's on Moto. I'm not sure if there's I'm not really sure how the redemption works. I've never redeemed a set. Whether you're like within the redemption cycle to turn it into a paper set. I think there's like a fee of like $25 or something. And then they'll mail it to you. But I've never dealt with that process. I've always just flipped them. Aim for 0th. That way if you fail, you should still at least get 2nd. Oh, yeah, aim for the stars, huh? And then if you fail, you can burn up on the atmosphere. Wait, no. That doesn't sound right. Hey, thanks for the luck, BMN. This is, yeah. The first 3 of these I did. I top 8'd 2 of them. But they were for EOE, which is a format I had a lot more luck in than Avatar for 1. And then after I did another couple EOE RCQs, my top 8 conversion rate became a lot more realistic after I scrubbed out a couple more. Hey, thanks, Simo. Happy B-Day to you, too. Vizsla says good luck. Don't think they've seen me live in forever. Appreciate the luck, Vizsla. We interact on Blue Sky sometimes, right, Vizsla? You're that. Just making sure I have the right. Not trying to get my names cross-wired. Ace up, Kunam. You are that Vizsla. Nice. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving, the folks and all that. What RC does this qualify for? I don't know what region they are, but they're in the second. We're in the second one. The second regional championship of 2026. So I've already got an invite for the first one. One of the two. I was hoping to get an invite to both of them, but I did not quite manage that. But I'll be playing in the one in Milwaukee. Not sure if I'll be trying to carpool or drive to Milwaukee by myself. I'm just not that strong of a driver. Oh, shit. Vizsla gifting some subs. Oh, it's for DC. I kind of like DC. There's some good food there. Congratulations to Ghost Dog, Mittens TV, Omega Urza, Panic Don't Panic, and Wiggly Bob. Hell yeah. Congrats, folks. Thanks, Vizsla. Mighty kind. Oh, wow. You're in the hospital waiting for a heart CT? Minor heart attack? Jesus, Vizsla. Jeebers. Sounds like we should be giving Vizsla all the luck. I feel downright greedy asking for luck now. Good luck, Vizsla. That's serious stuff. Obviously. Let's put on an Elder album. It's been kind of my MO for these early morning tournaments. Hope your recovery is Alcorn. Not enough people in this tournament. Yeah, right? 521. We're going to crack 540. Avatar Arena collector box even up in an hour for people interested. Oh, like their Winamax things? You joined to get sealed deck building practice and to play the Cub Wan Shi Tong lottery. Yeah. Yeah, I literally built a sealed last night and then played no games with it. Just because I realized I had not played any sealed in this format at all. I saw Michael Jacob got second in a sealed challenge, and he was playing like some 4-color monstrosity. And every time I've tried to do 4-color monstrosities in draft, I've kind of gotten burned. But sealed's probably slower, huh? Can't draft a tight 2-color aggro deck in the sealed format. Sealed's rather slow this format. Nice. All right, we got a Boomy. We got a United front. Oh, but Bang Sing and Boomy seem good together. These 3 red rares are kind of red herrings. They're not that good. And South Pole Voyager and United Front seem very good. A little white removal. All right, let's... what am I doing here? 2 epic downfalls. 2 forecasting fortune teller. 2 callous inspector. We got some white removal spells. We got some duels. They're not Naya duels. And then green doesn't really give us fixing. It's just some seismic senses, which are like a impulse for basics. Oh, there's Fire Nation Tree Bucket. Sold out. It's a nice removal spell. Oh shit, what up? Hey, Luna Bee. Thanks for the sob. Thanks for the 91 months. Many luck and many yummy food. Hell yeah. I think United Front is one of the highest win rate limited cards in the format. So I'd certainly like to play that one. It looks like we've got some allies for the South Pole Voyagers, too. I still think South Pole Voyager sounds like a euphemism. It's just every time I hear that card name. God, do we triple airbending lesson? I've gone on a few South Pole voyages in my day, if you know what I mean. Kind of wish I could sort by allies. I know the fortune tellers and the patrol are all allies. Oh, the plaza fixes. We could literally do Naya shrines. This is a wild sealed pool because you could build it in so many different ways. The airbending lesson and Southern Air Temple seem kind of good together. Even if it's my only shrine. You'd have a hard time with this pool. I'm having a hard time with this pool. The waterbending scroll and otter penguin are pretty good together. You think Naya's where it's at? There's some mana stretching going on to do that. One thing I like about this build is we get to emphasize the South Pole Voyager. We can look at Naya real quick. The fixing is just not here. Like, green's my weakest color. The South Pole Voyager gets a lot worse. You're like really leaning on Seismic Sense and Ostrich Horse to just like find you the right lands, which I don't love. And like United Front is kind of an awkward splash. It could come down like post Plaza, the United Front, like maybe the Plaza ramps you into front. And you end up playing like 6 white sources. Like you cut a lot of this early stuff for more red stuff. You just don't play the South Pole Voyager much at all. Something I like about the blue-white build is that you just get like so much churn, right? Like the forecasting fortune tellers, the waterbending lesson, the guys like it's. I think that deck's gonna see the United Front more often because it's got so much card draw. I do like that the Naya build gives you Bossing C, but I don't really see how to play it. Maybe it's just like building around the shrines. Better. You'd splash the double downfall. The splashes are so awkward. We do have a black-white duel, I guess. The removal here isn't the worst. We have Path, Razor Rings, Airbender Reversal, and Team Avatar. It's not like great, but it's not the worst either. Merchant of Many Hats is an ally. Corrupt Court Official is not. Of the Northern Air Temple. We could have 4-color shrines in this sealed deck. Oh, man. If only the fixing was a little better, huh? If we had, like, different dual lands, or if we had some nice green fixing. Now, what was my last card? Oh, I think I was thinking about that, whether to play Crashing Wave, Penguin, Airbending Lesson number 3, Curious farm animals. Airbending lesson's kind of good here, and like not just disrupting the opponent, but also blinking out our Southern Air Temple to like re-anthem our board a few times. Or like if I blink out my Kyoshi Warriors, I can trigger the South Pole Voyager over and over. You might be better than Waterbending Scroll. You like Penguin a lot with Fortune Tellers. Penguin's good. I mean, it's just like on with the Waterbending Scroll. If I want to play Scroll, I don't know if I want to play Scroll. You like Airbending less than a lot? Enough to play 3? Oh, that's what you're asking. Is the third too much? It's got some nice synergies in this deck. Is the reason I'm tanking on lesson number 3 too. I kind of like Crashing Wave. Just don't cast it until it's lethal. Yeah, I wasn't planning on splashing anyway. I know Wave has a low win rate, but it's been pretty good for me. It's won me some games. I almost want to play 9 islands, 8 planes because of the Waterbending Scroll. We got that Rabbit Kangaroo too that can get a white source. We don't really need double white until United Front. I guess I might need double white with South Pole Voyager, just like double spelling. Can I please try Jeskai? Why? What do you want out of Jeskai? There's no. Sure, we got some duels here, but like, there's not really allies for the South Pole Voyager in red. Like the best red creatures are just not that at all. It's like Fire Sages, not an ally. Well, Fire Nation attacks. Does it make allies? No, just soldier creature tokens. That'd been cool because it would have been 2 triggers. So if it would just like trigger by itself if it did make allies. Yeah, no, I'm good there. We're like not getting removal or anything. There needs to be a draw to a color to like work out a thing, and the draw to red isn't boomy. It's not in just having the color. Which, you know, that's not the worst way to build this deck. Is to just do green-white, and then just splash Boomy and splash the Crescent Island Temple. And have the Mongoose Lizard and the Rabaru Troop and the Senses being most of our fixing. We'll play like 2 mountains. I really do like building towards the South Pole Voyager, though, and we get some real nice blue allies here. I think this is good. I'm just going to submit. I like it. That's enough for me. less consistency in the Naya build. I mean, just splashing Boomy on the Crescent Island Temple seems pretty reasonable, especially if you're playing the 2 Seismic Senses and the Ostrich Taurus. It's just not a very good South Pole Voyager deck. You'd still play it, I think, because you got the Warriors here that can trigger it by itself. The United Front can trigger it by itself. But you become a lot less ally-centric. I'm not going to play tap lands just for fun, no. You get this deck in the overlay. We have the Mana Sink. Yeah, assuming we find the United Front. That's a pretty good one. We have a few other ones too. We got the Quentia, or I'm sorry, the Waterbending Scroll. And the South Pole Voyager. All right, Mox Field's updated. You'd play the 3rd Airbending Lesson. I've just never played that many of the card. I also think Otter Penguin is reasonable, but I don't know what the cut would be. Like, I think my weakest card is Waterbending Scroll, but if I was going to play the Penguin, I'd want to play it with it. You'd cut Crashing Wave. Yeah, I've won a lot of games off Crashing Wave. I think it's a really nice late game card. Sometimes it just fucking wins. There's an 8% win rate difference between the White Shrine and Airbending Lesson. Yeah. So Airbending Lesson is good with the White Shrine here, Professor Dumbledore. They are good in combination with one another. That's the reason why it would be different here. We also have United Front. It's a nice thing to Anthem. Kyoshi Warriors, nice thing to Anthem. I'm not just playing the White Shrine for fun. Hey Torvak, thanks for the sub. Thanks for the luck. And thanks for the reminder to eat some butt. This is my literal first sealed build of the 4-mana Octarium. I've only really done drafts. Well, I certainly wouldn't play the White Shrine by itself in every deck, but I do think it's good here. Just put down a 10? Yeah. That's the kind of faith we need. Oh shit, what up? AC3, thanks for the sob, thanks for 80 months there. 6 out of 10, with the white mythic making up 2 out of the 10. Jesus Christ. I think y'all are underestimating South Pole Voyager. God, I wish I had 2 more airbending lessons rotting in my hand right now. It is indeed RCQ time, Mr. Krasny. Hey, Florent. Do I cycle this lesson to find anything? Ooh. Aw, man. Well, if we draw another ally in the future, we can play Voyager and then play the other ally and get it rolling. I think we just want to slam this. Oh, that's going to give them access to my United Front. Unless... I guess I can Path to Redemption and then sacrifice. Yeah, they grabbed the United Front. Yeah, we need to get this Hama off the board. Just playing Crashing Wave's not good enough, because then they untapping. Excellent paying its mana cost, yeah. Oh shit, what up? Hey, Plinkin, thanks for the sub. Thanks for 46 months there. And C3 Slipball 23 with the 80 months, the big 8-0. Got that one in there too. You thought Hama didn't work with X-Spells? Why wouldn't Hama work with X-Spells? Mana value 2. Oh shit. So I should have just Crashing Waved him. Well, you learned something new. But I need some kind of sweeper here. You think Crashing Wave seems cracked and sealed? I think it's solid in draft too, but I don't know. Everybody else seems to be losing with it. The game would have been a lot harder without it, right? I kind of want the second Geyser Leaper, but the only card I can see to cut would be the Rabaroo Troop, so I'd be cutting a flyer for a flyer. I'm going to submit this again. It's a very board stally limited format Actarium. They come up in draft all the time. I have found that the second one wins more often than the first one, which might be part of it. Yeah, the main reason I was attracted to the blue-white build was all these fortune tellers. Buffing my ally count, increasing my consistency, giving me early plays. We'll see if this scroll does fuck all. You lost 20k gems drafting Avatar. Yeah, I think if anybody drafts long enough, they'll end up losing all their gems. That's just how Arena's designed. It was interesting going back over my untapped GG logs and seeing what formats I ended up like pretty well in and which ones absolutely cleaned my clock. There's a couple cube formats I ended up positive in, which is a little crazy. The issue with just playing the Geyser Leaper down is they just kind of kill it with barrels. I think I need to buy myself a little bit of time here. Do I put all three on this, or do I put one on the Hawk too? I kind of like the idea of putting one on the Hawk, especially if they want to spend their turn cracking their clue. Is this only as a sorcery? Not gonna do it on their turn. Cool. Avatar draft seems hard. I was really struggling with it. I started doing a little bit better when I started drafting more 2-color decks, and less 3 or 4 colored piles. It seems like in the limited format, you're gonna want to do piles more often, or in the sealed format rather. Airbending less than the clue token would be funny. I'm gonna wait for that last stun counter to get off their foggy swamp, and I'm gonna airbending that, I think. And then we can start playing 5 drops and activating the water bending on the. Oh my god, they got my fucking United Front and all my removal. Shit. Just milling the United Front was kind of brutal. Like, it had a way better chance of just milling me 3 cards closer to it than actually hitting it. Two-man Anthem looking pretty good here. Still like this. Yeah, it's all kind of as expected. I think I should have played the rabbit. Oh, they just have lethal. I think I should have played the rabbit in landfall this turn. I don't think it mattered. Yeah, it's so nice card draw going, but we also had some flood happening. Let's see if we can front for like 5 again, and then air temple afterwards. That'd be real nice. Are you looking at the actual numbers Octarium, or are you just talking about the game where I happen to flood? Sure seems land heavy. Have you thought about cutting 3 lands for 3 creatures? That deserves a quench. The Pole Patrol's a mana dork for the front. Guess it's a little closer to our goal here. Well, nevertheless. You got 11 creatures and 2 are fortune tellers. Are you counting United Front? That's a pretty normal count for a 40 card deck. Ooh. Yeah, I thought about just blinking plus pathing. I didn't really want to path the Judy though. I don't like the idea of blinking out the more expensive kind for whatever reason. Even though they replay it for 2, it shouldn't matter. There's the indestructible trick I could be face planting into here. The Path to Redemption would play around. Sure. Hell yeah. It's a good start. Yeah, one thing about limited, or any deck really, is the more card draw you have, the more often you're going to see the other cards, right? So a 12 creature deck with Waterbending Lesson and Waterbending Scroll over the course of a long game is going to see more creatures than a 14 creature deck without either of them. Really like the South Pole Voyager in this deck too. The fact that we have Kyoshi Warriors and United Front that both trigger it by itself. And you can always play the Voyager into your second ally, and that's going to set up the next double spell. A lot of nice card draw in here. We got the white 6-drop flyer. No, this isn't our deck. This is our pool over here. These are the blue-white cards we're not playing. I thought about the Penguin in the second copy of Geyser Leaper. The Penguin's mostly not in because it's competing with the other allies, right? With the actual allies. If the Penguin was an ally, it'd be in here for sure. 19,522 cards in the sideboard. Yeah. Clean that up. Holy 2-drop. Yeah, it's a little misleading, right? Because Crashing Wave's not really a 2-drop, and Scroll's not really a 2-drop. And then the removal can be played at any spot on the old curve. Still a lot of 2s, but... Cool. Well, there's 102 matches in progress. Short little round 1. I guess I'll fire up a cube draft and kill some time, huh? Murder that fucking time. Put a pillow over that time's mouth as it slumbers. And go shh as it struggles. I think the pillow thing only works if you're dealing with someone who's like very sick or something in the first place. You can just breathe through a pillow. They don't make pillows that are like airproof. It's pretty impossible to smother somebody, or at least like a healthy person. Hey, Joe Hef, thanks for subbing. Appreciate you, Joe. One of those film tropes that plays better if everyone just pretends that it works instead of thinking about it for a second. Like defibrillators bringing people back to life, or silencers being like actually silent. There's that scene in the second John Wick movie where they're shooting at each other in this like crowded hallway while hiding their guns and using silencers and stuff. And it was just very like unrealistic that nobody would be noticing what the fuck they're doing. Especially because silencers aren't actually that silent, right? You could argue that in the John Wick universe, people just like having a gunfight in the middle of the crowded room like isn't like out of the ordinary, but then like why are they trying to hide their guns? Why isn't it would have made more sense to me if they were just fucking just actually shooting at each other. Mosquitoes, you're saying you're allowed to kill mosquitoes? Probably depends on your religion, huh? Your beliefs. I could be wrong, but I think it's the Jains that don't kill like any creatures, including bugs and stuff. And they still are aware of like they think like that everything has a spirit, right? And it's like morally wrong to kill anything. And some of them do a ritualistic starvation at the end of their lives to like atone for the incidental death that they've caused over the course of their life. Kind of wild. I like the moral consistency. John Wick isn't supposed to be a film that makes sense. Well, every film has to make sense within its own universe. Even if it doesn't make sense in like our universe, it still has to have a logical consistency. An internal consistency. Rather. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas very much has a, because that's a nonfiction. Are you saying this piece of journalism has to be consistent? Yeah, I am. Yes, it does have to be internally consistent, yes. Do need to have a reliable narrator in order for the ride to be worth it. I never read Fear and Loathing. I read The Great Shark Hunt, though, and enjoyed it. So, like, Fourth, Psychic Frog, even Crocus are all, like, reasonable pickups. Pack one, pick one here. I've been having a lot of luck in this cube. Well, not a lot of luck. I've been having a little bit of luck in this cube. Just maxing fast mana. So I should probably be taking the fourth, but I'm going to take the Chrome Mox. Ooh, Ancestral Recall. Sure. But even that's even like vibes are a thing. Like what you're describing is a potential universe. So if there's a fight that's like stupid instead of cool, then that's universe breaking, Kuna. Like the one we were just talking about. Have I read anything that I enjoyed with an intentionally unreliable narrator? So I don't know if this qualifies, but I liked. I'm a big fan of Roger's last name, and when I was in high school, I really, really loved his Amber decology. And there are points in that series where you kind of get hints that Corwin is not a reliable narrator. Early on, he makes a big deal about how his sisters are like weaker than the men and not as good of fighters and stuff. And then later on, there's like these huge battles, and they're like doing just as much as the men, and he's like shocked. He's like surprised, and he's like didn't notice that his sisters were like really good at war his whole life, and just oblivious. There's a few characters that he has like a fondness for, and it's like purely nostalgia based. There's like no real rational reason for him to go in with them. Makes him a bit more human. How'd the sealed pool duel do? I think it's fine. We don't have like a shit ton of bombs in our deck, but we do have one bomb. And I think it's the... Do I actually want Limdal's Vault? I don't think I do. Well, maybe. Yeah, we have this United Front, which I think is the highest win rate card in the format. And then the rest of the deck is like built around South Pole Voyager as a draw engine, and there's a few other draw spells. So we're kind of just trying to find United Front every game and cast it and win. Reasonable sealed strategy, I think. Is Witherbloom Apprentice Doomsday a thing? Could do. Buy you just in case we get Witherbloom Apprentice, of course. Nice, Nicole. Yeah, I've had pretty good luck switching my flights too. A lot of the airlines just like have an online app where you can just like look at the flight options and change it. Well, we're gonna grab this Thassa's Oracle. Thassa's Oracle is a premium card in this cube. You're not just using Doomsday to win. There's like the 1-mana deck yourself card too. About as cheesy as the Time Vault win. He had him on consultation. It wasn't a same day flight. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's different per airline, but I've switched them in different days before. Like what you just did. Little Vista, little mana fixin'. If we can get some tutors and some Chain of Smog action, maybe some more fast mana. Could be a nice little deck here. Oh wow, that's a Time Vault. So Brainstorm fits the Doomsday deck very well for the same reason that this Recall does. You can like draw into your Doomsday pile immediately. We're gonna take the Time Vault though. And we might just have all the nonsense in this deck. We're looking very hard for keys now. There's like 3 or 4 different ones that combine with. Let's see. There's 2 key effects. There's the 3-mana blue planeswalker that untaps things, and there's Mirror. It's kind of a lot. Jace would give us a backup win con for Doomsday. I don't think we really need it though. I haven't really been in a spot where I needed a backup win con. I'm gonna go that Rafine's Tower and just make our mana base a little bit better here. And we don't really need Thought Scour for Doomsday piles because again we have Ancestral Recall. 3-mana Tez is not in the cube. This is last year's list, so there's no new cards. Let's grab a bat, I guess. Maybe I want that Frantic Search. A little Lorien Revealed action. Finds Undercity Sewers, pitches to Chrome Mox. Seems good. This deck's gross? Not yet, it's not. But it will be. Using Doomsday to set up infinite turns would be funny. Get the Time Vault combo with Doomsday just to flex, and then have the Oracle be the last card. Would I take Dark Ritual over an off-color Mox in Pack 3 with this deck? That's a good question. Moxing could help you power out the Time Vault combo, but doesn't help you cast a lot of your cards. Whereas Dark Ritual would be pretty good. What's the Thassa's Oracle combo? Well, currently it's just casting Doomsday and then having Thassa's Oracle in your deck. Pretty straightforward stuff. But there's other combos in the cube. Pestermite could untap Time Vault a single time. Valgavoth on a persist card. Could Xander's Lounge or Force Spike. A lot of comes to play tap lands, right? You might just need it. You might just need it. Just down for the mirror. Hey, thanks, Second Mayor. Yeah, that is what I said, Paladin. I said it is not a card for persist. How's my deck? I think it's solid in 10. We'll see, though. I haven't played this sealed format very much, so I could be way off base. Still nothing for my Time Vault. I guess we'll grab this Baleful Strengths. The Preordain and the Fetch appeal to me. Could play Grief, which is some free interaction. The Fetch makes the Chain of Smog combo a lot less tense on the mana base. Because it can get the Bayou too. Saga to tutor for the Voltaic Key that we're going to get. I like where your head's at. Not a crazy idea. Vampiric Tutor. Yeah, the last time I got Time Vault, it was like in Pack 3, and then I didn't see anything for it. Kind of feels like that might be happening again. Even though I got it early Pack 2. Hey, there's a thing. One time vault combo, please. I think I like Consider over Odawara. We're currently a little short on playables. You see our count here is 31. That's like minus 13. I guess you could play Sedgemoor Witch here. Oh, Gush is good with Doomsday. Alright. What does Time Vault do? Time Vault's in here for infinite turn combos. It taps to take an extra turn, but it doesn't untap normally, so you have to get tricky. Mirage Mirror can copy it, and Mirage Mirror untaps normally, so that's a combo. There's also like Voltaic Key and stuff. That Vampiric Tutor is so good. It's going to let us find Doomsday more often. It's going to find the Ancestral Recall more often. It's going to help us put Time Vault stuff together. Oh, shit, what up? Hey, Netta, 300x. Thanks for the sub, the 2 months. I think I like this Spell Pierce, huh? Just slow them down a little bit. Looks like we need like 2 more cards. Sheldock Isles Q with Doomsday. The Frantic Surge could untap it too. Could play Bone Shards and have a single removal spell in here. The Lantern's playable. Could even main deck the Lantern. I kind of dig it. We've got 3 comes to play tapped lands already, so I'm not high on the Sheldock, even though it does work well with what we're doing. Sheldock Emrakul is another combo for Doomsday. For the record. You're watching on a long commute to surprise visit your wife. Oh, very fun, okay? Very fun. This is perfect timing. Looks like the rounds are rounding up. Metamorphosis Fanatics, a fun one to vamp tutor for. Not really what we're doing here. So this deck is close to the nuts. We're missing the 1 black card that exiles your deck for Oracle. We're missing cheaper Time Vault combos like Voltaic Key, Mirage Mirror. Works, but it's very expensive, right? Oh, 5-mana Tezzeret is in this cube too. Also works with Time Vault and tutors for the Time Vault. But I'm not complaining. This is pretty good. We got some Doomsday combos. We got some ways of drawing into the pile. We got Recall that we can tutor for. Most of our interaction is spell-based, but we do have Dam and Toxic Deluge. Toxic, a little awkward with Doomsday, but there are non-Doomsday ways to win in here with the Time Vault shenanigans, so maybe it'll be solid. Plus, if you pay all your life to Toxic Deluge before you Doomsday, then you lose less life to Doomsday. How about that? Alright, I need a quick bathroom break. I'll be back in a few minutes. 2 matches in progress. What's the estimate for number of times you can draft this cube before it feels stale? Like 5 or 6? Yeah, something like that. It'll give me a way to kill time in between rounds here. Yeah, that 1 match in progress is pretty limited on how long it can go to. People get like, what, 55 minutes in round time? And then 3 minutes for boarding? Or is it 50 minutes for round time? I think they've like max got a minute and a half here. It's 55 plus 6. Do I have a sick deck? I've got a deck. We can look at it real quick. I haven't played the sealed format much. So like United Front is the highlight. And then there's a bunch of blue card draw. It's a pretty solid South Pole Voyager deck. I think like literally all of our creatures are allies, and we've got warriors that can double trigger it by itself. I'm not sure about this Southern Air Temple. It should maybe be the 3rd airbending lesson. I was thinking as a way to anthem up my United Front, or like my warriors or whatever. I thought it played well with the airbending lessons too, like blink it out and replay it and get more anthems. Yeah, good luck to you too, Natab. Oh, hey, Darkest Mage is jamming. Oh, it's Nate H. That makes way more sense. Whatever you put in that teleprompter, Ron Burgundy is going to read. Oh, you're visiting some family? Nice. A lot of land drops here. We have some rebuys, though. I think you kind of got to quench that, just based on the fact that, you know, all these fucking lands, you need time to crack your clues and stuff. Obviously, it'd be nice to sit on the counterspell. Opponent didn't do shit for the first 3 turns or whatever. I have come to patrol the North Pole. Oh, come on, Dak. Interesting. I think you still run out patrol here. Our best rip here is just another creature, so we can go Voyager into any creature at all. Get a nice trigger and set up an air temple. God, that 3/5 would have been so good in my deck. I almost want an airbending lesson, a fortune teller, to make sure I can trigger my Voyager. I was thinking I was going to blink out my temple. Like, I also need board presence, right? Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know which is better. We're going to have 2 draws here, one for the airbending lesson and one for our natural draw. We might just hit a creature anyway. It's way better to blink out the Anthem if we draw into United Front, of course. Yeah, let's roll for high. Might be a huge mistake. I guess you're more likely to find the United Front if you blink out the forecasting. Waterbending Scroll. Crashing Wave. Do I like the band Pallbearer? They're okay. The cycle of renewal is interesting. I'd almost rather just activate their water tribe if I'm the opponent. Hey, thanks, Bartholomew. Oh shit, this can untap my water bending. That's kind of sick. Try to cut them off of cards here. We got a ton of options to hold up here. We can, like, double spell. So I have to make a choice. I can untap my waterbending scroll, or I can untap a land and make sure I have 2 tricks up here. I think the odds of them killing me are pretty low. So I'm going to actually untap my waterbending. Famous last words, right? Is this a faster slow format? That's a good question. Most people seem to think it's a slow format. My experience with the draft format was that it's a lot faster than people understand. Well, this works. Hell yeah. Oh, I should be leading with waterbending, Fucking free now. Now, I'm sure they've got some tricks and stuff in hand, but I think this is a fine time to start attacking. We only have 12 cards left in our deck. Amazing. Hey, thanks, parallelograms. This got rid of my draw engine, but like, I was borderline iffy on triggering it. Suppose I sandbag a land for the flying, There's a united front in these bottom 8 cards. And boy, isn't that going to look good. Awesome. Hey. I was kind of wondering what it would look like if our United Front, because we won the first match by just like casting United Front for 4 and 5 in the early mid game a couple times. I was kind of wondering what our games would look like if we did not draw it in the first half of our deck. Pretty nice to win one of those. I did kind of like the Southern Air Temple in there. I was unsure if I liked it alongside the airbending lessons. During deck building, chat was convinced that I should be playing the 3rd airbending lesson over it. Was it literally the bottom of the deck? No, there were 4 unknowns beneath the United Front, and then we had 2 lands. Hell yeah, 7 deadly. Morning indeed. to have a good Thanksgiving. Oh, I just streamed on Thanksgiving. I'm cooking. We're celebrating tonight. I'm cooking a chicken and some Yorkshire pudding, mess of potatoes and sweet potato mash with cinnamon and nutmeg. Should be pretty simple as far as Thanksgiving meals are concerned, but it should be tasty too. Looks like my opponent's missing green mana currently. And we can kind of just chill here. The Yorkshires, yeah. I made a dummy batch. I've been experimenting with different fats because traditionally Yorkshire pudding is made with the meat drippings from whatever you're cooking. So you can use like whatever kind of meat fat you have on hand, and I've got a lot of weird ones currently because I scooped some for making Tibetan butter tea. So I have like yak ghee handy, and so I made a dummy version with that. And then today I'm going to be using, I got a thing of Wagyu beef tallow that I haven't cooked with. I'm going to be using that for half of them, and then using that to make like an onion Wagyu beef gravy. And then I've also got some camel hump fat, and I'm going to make a few of them with that, just as an experiment. Oh shit, what up? Hey, Blitzkrieg, thanks for the sub, thanks for the 92 months. You cooked some ham, your glaze came out a bit too sour. I'm worried about, this is the first time I've ever dry brined a bird. I'm a little worried that I oversalted, but we'll see. You said the oil doesn't matter? Really? It seemed to really matter for the yak game. Wonder what they're holding up here, huh? They finally hit their green source. I'm just gonna cast this and pass. No such thing as too much salt. You can certainly oversalt. Still mostly in the skin, on the skin. Yeah, that's true. That's what I should have held up the quench for him. Possible I was just supposed to get the warriors down this turn, and then air temple the next turn. Possible I should be land cycling this rabbit, huh? And then I wouldn't have had to do that. I could have had the quench up on their turn. Like, if I used the North Pole as an untapper here, I could have land cycled the rabbit, made my land drop, and still had the quench up. Okay, sure. How many rounds are there? I think it's like 10. I think they might cap at 10 or 11 on Magic Online. Yeah, it's of 10. Land here would be pretty good. I could hold up all of my things instead of just some of them. I'm going to run out this Southern Air Temple. I'm just going to pass, slow it down a little bit here. Hey, Sabronis. 7-hole watches. Wow. One's at 14. They have 2 cards in hand. Huh. So if I serve all in, they double block my ally. I kind of like just attacking like this, and that doesn't give them a nice double block. And then next turn, we can potentially crashing wave for the win. But this way we're holding up the Airbender's reversal. We're just very unlikely to die from 10. We can crack the clue if nothing interesting happens. You feel like with the 365 challenge, that's the way the watch streaks hit, right? It certainly helps them along, Jade Cavity, thanks for the sub, thanks for the 94 months. I mean, that Blitzkrieg 92 earlier. There's some long fucking subs in this chat. Holy shit. Tap them. Tap them. Nice. So Crashing Wave just making it a lot easier to close out these super long grindy games. That was 2 games in a row where we did not draw our namesake card. We did not draw the United Front, and we just had to like kind of dick around and figure out a way to win. And Crashing Wave made that a lot easier. Cool. But I could see this card having a really low win rate if people just cast it just because they have it. They're like, oh, I've got a card to cast, and they just like play it. That's when you want to wait for the key moment. Obviously, sometimes you're like getting beaten the fuck down, and you just need to like fire off desperation to buy some time. But just playing it because you can is a good way to like throw it in the trash. Just like convert it into a random burn spell. Just like you don't lava spike your opponent, or you don't use lightning bolt to like lava spike your opponent on turn 1, right? Like you wanna use your go face cards when it's time to go face. Anyway, we got some time here, so I'll update the old overlay. Play some cube. We got this Doomsday deck. This nice, relaxing Doomsday deck. I should get some kind of a snack. I should order food, actually. Its win rate, I think, is like very misleading because the win rate shows it to be like not that good of a card. But I think people are just casting it wrong. What's gonna be easy on my tum-tum? Amelia's. Just get a sandwich. Italian Club. Just do my old order. Don't have to think. Let's plug it in. Air Temple you have new respect for? Oh, this thing? Yeah, I wouldn't like it as much if I didn't have all these airbending lessons, but I mean, it kind of plays well, huh? Makes my little shitters. Somebody earlier was like complaining about how like some of my creatures were a little rinky-dink, but if you're just antheming your team over and over, that matters a lot less. I need some lands, huh? I guess we maul them. You've been viewing it as a bad anthem that can get good? Yeah. That's kind of how it plays in my deck, huh? There was a build with my pool where we did like a Naya Shrines thing. But I was pretty low confident in that build. Good to know about that Sphinx, I guess. I guess they were keeping off of like having all of their mana and having a 0 mana removal spell and having a Mishra's Bauble to cycle. And then the removal spell ended up being a rickety brick. Awkward. Okay. I have a response. Is there a point in continuing the RCQ at 0-2? With 10 rounds, that's like a lot of rounds. You would kind of want to have the fire to like just like get more reps in the limited environment. I think you can certainly cash, but you're cashing like you can see the prizes here. Like if you went 8-0, you wouldn't top 8, but you could get in this range. 50 treasure chest boosters, I think it's like $80 or something. And it really depends on like what you feel like doing with your time in terms of what's worth. The cube, I think they're intending to update it to the new one on like the 3rd or something. Time Walk. Extra turn cards are so cheap. I think they should be banned. Disgusting that people think it's okay to win like that. Breaking the rules of the game. One person, one turn. That's what I always say. Lutri copy, build your own tidings, love it. I want to slam Jace, but I should probably be playing the freebooter. Huh. Kind of feels like I should have just slammed my Jace. Now that we're here. Crack Fabled Passage, fail to find. That's what we're doing. Wow, they just really don't want to burn that Force of Will. Holding for Vault, or they do this thing. You can flashback Time Walk now. I guess we have Lantern. Painful games. I think it leads to a lot of non-games is more my issue with it. Where you're like, I've got the thing. You're like, oh yeah, okay, well you win. Yeah. Opponent's got the right idea though. If you're not time vaulting, then you probably want to be force of willing and griefing and all that stuff. Yeah, that was a big bummer. We got Snuff out in their hand. Yeah, this doesn't do anything. I just threw away my thing. Would have been a good line if they didn't have 3 mana open to pay for Pierce Hum. I would rather Supreme Draft, yeah, Ugly Paintings. I feel like with Supreme Draft, like the gameplay is like miserable, sure, but it's like a little bit different, and like people are more on the same level. You end up with these decks that are like full of power and stuff, but like everybody does, instead of like one person at the table getting the time vault. I need. I guess Toxic Deluge doesn't even work, huh? Because they just have Hardcast Force for me. The game almost made me want to like have Sedgemoor Witch and Code in there. I just don't want to cut anything. Could have considered and looked for Chromox. So I already burned Duress. In terms of like what I could vamp tutor for here to protect my combo. think I just play it and hope I don't get got. What do we got? Another shell deck. I feel like that just wins, right? For me. I've got 3 cards in hand. There's a Doomsday in the graveyard. There's 5 cards exiled. So if I just let this time spiral resolve, then I go to 9 cards. There'll be 2 in the thing. The Jace trigger just resolves. They could have floated some too. But yeah, in their fresh 7, if they'd found an answer to the Jace, like we just Gush or Frantic Search, right? And we just still instant win. And there's a recall in the remaining 2 cards. Didn't really seem like a spot where we could lose super easy. How do we try to find counter magic? Well, counter magic doesn't do anything. GG's, Miniman. You knew you were dead, but you thought Flash Spiral was funny. It is kind of funny, yeah. Yeah, Doomsday and Shelldock work really well together. I almost grabbed a Shelldock for my own deck, but I already had like 3 comes to play tapped lands. And then I saw the Emrakul like immediately afterwards. I was like, ah. It's a fun thing to set up with Doomsday. What are my favorite colors for this limited format? I like blue a lot. But I also really like having efficient removal. Oh, hey, my food's outside. Perfect timing. I'm just going to go grab that real quick. Got a sandwich, some chips. I'm hungry. Interesting balance on tournament days, because you're like using a lot of brain power and burning a lot of calories, but you don't want to overeat. Usually kind of hard to overeat. What's the better sandwich meat? Salami or pastrami? I don't know. How'd the pool end up? I think it's solid. Num 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 num. Yeah, hoping I draw that United Front card more. That card's real good. It's like my solo threat to win the first round. Make 8 power, tap your team. JRC acting mighty sus in the chat. I think we got a demon on our hands. One match is only on game 2. Yeah, I don't expect they'll have time for a game 3. That could mean that we have another 3 minutes to wait. You don't think these Moto Super events feel great? Really? I've been kind of enjoying them. Even though I've lost in several top 8s. They're kind of fun to stream. I literally just went over it for you, Neo Bubbles. I think it's fine. United Front is the highlight. We got some airbending lessons for our air temple. We're mono allies for the South Pole Voyager. I think the Rabbit is the only non-ally in the deck. Some efficient interaction, some nice value. Oh, the Fox Spirit's not an ally too. We had 2 non-allies. But like the Front and the Warriors can trigger the South Pole Voyager by themselves. Some draw, some interaction. You know, regular sealed stuff. I just dribbled some sauce down my stomach. It was very cold and uncomfortable. What would Naya Shrines have looked like? The ally synergies would have been a lot less. And there wouldn't be much card draw. We would have been relying on 2 green impulses to like have our lands line up. And the green shrine could fix for the red shrine. The main appeal of Naya is not actually the shrines, but the Boomy Unleashed was a nice one. Red looks really deep, but I think red would have been the splash color. You kind of just have to like make green a base color so that this stuff can fix for your splash. Obviously, you're not gonna have white be the splash color because we have some pleasant removal spells and United Front. You like the looks of Jund? Yeah, if you're doing Jund, one of the awkward things is you're cutting the best shrine. And the main awkward thing is you're not playing your best card, which is that X spell. So you're trading the best limited spell in the format, which is United Front, and like our 3 white removal spells and our draw engine, and you're getting 3 black removal spells. I just want to bend the troop this turn. Set up my 3rd land for them. Turn 3 pull patrol. It's probably better. Nice. Now what, Oh shit, what up? Hey, Jake Wright, thanks for the sub. Thanks for the 61 months there. Yeah, they like doing tournaments on holidays, Jeffrick. I was hoping to save this to like a double spell, but I think we just gotta run it out. We got a choice here. We can play the scroll and draw a card with it, thanks to the North Pole Patrol. Or we can just play the temple and get our beats in. That is a big fish. Opponent's getting in, huh? It's like the sort of attack you make before a sweeper. Oh, Water Grasp is good. He's gonna unblink their koi. Nice. Really clean turn there. Repping the chump with forecasting here. Drops us to 5. We get to draw another card. Crashing Wave would be really strong in this spot specifically, huh? If that just resolves, I gain 6 and go to 11. I guess there's no real reason not to play the Earth King Protectors. Yeah, we're just playing into Quench. I think that's okay. Hell yeah. Kind of a wild little game, huh? This waterbending scroll's been really good. Been worth like 3 or 4 cards every game so far. They have enough flyers that I kind of want the Geyser Leaper in here. Just have another big flyer. I think you have to cut the Southern Air Temple, but maybe that's okay. I've been enjoying the Southern Air Temple, you know, it's solid. Gives me like an actual attacking force. They do have a lot of flyers, though. Could have afforded to play around Quench there. So if I decide to play around Quench and go for the lethal, then if they've got like a, what's the word? Something to muck up my combat. If they like untap a creature, if they gain a life. Like we attacked for Xaxes and they had 1 card there. I think you lose to more cards by trying to play around Quench. A bounce spell you lose to either way, of course, because they would just bounce the South Pole Voyager and then kill you. Yeah, just thinking about the Southern Air Temple and whether I want it to be a Geyser Leaper. Airbending lesson on Air Temple has been pretty sweet. Yeah, I'm just gonna jam this again. Geyser Leaper's good, but it's clunky. And we're just going to path that immediately. We want to buy as much time as possible to make land drops. I almost want to sandbag this until I have another ally to play alongside it and draw cards, but I think I just want a waterbending lesson next turn. Oh, they're going to blink out their doo-doo. Get a nice attack in. They do indeed have some flyers. You got it. Lifelink, you say? So I hated that for me, but it could have been a lot worse too. Oh, I can't play the cards from exile, that's right. That was like kind of perfect, huh? Having the Wrath to answer my Go White Anthem card. So get Airbending lessen the Koi and get in here. The issue is that they get to Anger Clue token. Kind of a big deal. Let's see what they do here. We're gonna play some cards, Kuna. Blech. Might not be able to win now. The team avatar can pop a flyer. So we are just going to blink out that koi right now. Secret not being an ally is kind of awkward here. He's going to shuffle it. It's pretty bad for me. I think Crash. We need them to like not do this, and then like maybe find Crash or something. The 4-mana 3/3 that spits out a 1/1 could have double triggered the Pole Voyager and drawn a card. If we do that into Crash, then you can like fog out their turn while advancing your board and get you in a spot where like maybe an Anthem can help you win a race, or maybe you build up enough of board and gain enough life in the interim that you're okay. That was a rough one though. The sweeper makes Temple look a little worse. I guess I'm cutting it. So far, my non-United Front games I've won with the Temple, though. So it's a little awkward. Yeah, usually, in order to win a game of Magic, you need like a combination of cards. And you're like jockeying for position back and forth. And a card like Waterbending Lesson can give you a combination of cards. So when you're losing, you shouldn't be like, oh man, I can't think of a single card in my deck that wins me this game. Because a lot of times when you're losing, you need a combination of cards to come back, which is good because you tend to draw multiples. You tend to draw combinations of cards over the course of a game. So the answer, like, how do we come back here is not really an answerable one because there's so many permutations, right? And there's like Crashing Wave into draw spells, getting you 2 removal spells. There's like, we literally had a draw engine on board, right, with the Voyager. I was talking about how Warriors could have triggered it and started something, got something rolling. A lot of times people pigeonhole on, all right, what's the one thing that we can do? What's our plan in this situation? But the plan can see what your draw is, and go from there. I might just bin my rabbit on too. We'll see what our draw is. Yeah, there's too many to go into is what I'm telling you, Kuna. If that's the sort of thing you're interested in, though, you can always look at the deck list and try and figure it out for yourself, right? Could be a useful exercise. Do I want to bin my team avatar here? Or I just want to get my patrol down? Let's just play the damn patrol, But better is something for you to do with yourself. And see if you can muddle it through, than to like have someone speed through like all like 50,000 combinations of cards you might draw, right? Yeah, let's just pass. I'm a little bit worried about Team Avatar on the flyer running into the +1/+1 spell. And then you're like inadvertently letting them pump at their thing. Oh, they're just passing. Interesting. I don't get it. Oh, they want to leave up their water tribe, I see. Maybe I should have Team Avatared it. It's possible I should have quenched. Opponent's happy just chilling over there drawing cards. I could use a bit of draw engine of my own, huh? Opponent's been using the glider kids really well. Very annoying. Kind of a miserable spot. Just sitting there watching them draw cards. No pressure. Yeah, I think if I can find a draw engine of my own, we might be able to crawl back into this one. They discarded Airbending Lesson, which is kind of a bad sign, because they've got so many fucking cards in their hand. Not a good sign. Not a good sign at all. And they're still drawing. They're getting in and drawing. Oh, at least they whiffed that time. Oh, you know what would have been interesting? After seeing the sweeper in game 2, doing the Jund build, because like the United is just not going to win every game that it shows up. Feels bad losing out on the sweet blue card draw, though. Wow, the quench finally came through. They looted away Glider Kids. Hey, here we go. I mean, if we can keep drawing 3 cards a turn, am I right? Now we have a Pump Fox and not the furry kind. Oh, trick question. They're all the furry kind. Wow, they're still not discarding lands. I kind of feel like a large chunk of the remaining 15 cards is lands. So if we can somehow grind, if we can somehow stabilize. It's hard because they have so many flyers, and I do not. I don't think I like Path to Redemption on the flyer. I think there's too high of a chance to just like blink it out. I think we need to play it and activate on our turn. They just discarded Giant Koi. Wow. I did not see that coming. Deal. They really do have a lot of flying, yeah. I brought in my second Geyser Leaper for that reason. So much. Know that we can gain a life by tapping our Compassionate to Waterbending. I have to worry a little bit about decking here. They do have a Sweeper in their deck, so I can't can't discount on my Anthem to win. Ah, shit. That's just a win. So they've got 9 damage on board. Where you been, South Pole Voyager? Where you been, buddy? So I can untap this and Waterbend again. I think that also leaves me dead, because then I just don't have enough ground blockers. Oh, we can just tap one of their things. That's how we don't die. More flyers, sure. The remaining 8 cards have to like all be lands, With mono looted away. They got a thing. Oh, this gives a 1/1 counter when it leaves. Fuck. Well played. Opponent certainly earned it, Yeah, we spent too much time in the early game kind of flailing around. Gave them too much time to set up and go turn through their deck and stuff. We never really applied pressure. We never got a... It took me a little bit too long to get my draw engine on board. And we never really had any counterplay. Good stuff. Lost to a blue-white mirror. Opponent played well, drew well. Had a good-looking deck. Hard to be mad about that. I do think after they showed me the sweeper, which meant that United Front wasn't just like always going to win every game I cast it, then I maybe should have considered a different build. Like just going high on... Like the Trebuchet would have matched up well against the early flyers, and then you get to play all of the black removal. And I don't know if you do like I almost, like, we were talking about Jund during deck building, but I wonder if Grixis was the build, because then you get like 2 engine rooms. Mana's not good. It's not good in Jund either. Maybe you're just supposed to be black something. It's hard, right? It's hard losing the card draw engines with blue, but I don't think blue-black has enough gas by itself. I don't think it's quite deep enough. I think you could do Jund. I think you could do black-red. I don't think black-white works very well, because you lose the whole South Pole Voyager engine thing. And you just be relying on the United Front, which, again, doesn't seem super good against that opponent, because they had the clear answer. Hey, Chittering Rats, thanks for the sub. Thanks for the 39 months there. Appreciate you. Aggressive sideboard build? You're not getting more aggressive than the main deck. We're like allies with 2 Anthem effects, right? The United Front and the South Air Temple. You're not getting more aggressive than that, but you can board into a build that doesn't get rocked by that sweeper. You want to get less aggressive versus the sweeper. You want to get more controlling. And maybe just killing every single flyer they play is the way to do that. Which I think could have maybe done. It's just hard, right? If you don't actually have a draw engine. And I don't really see one there. And these like Callous Inspectors. Because at a certain point, you just like run out, right? You just run dry. Well, they just churn through their whole deck. Cruel Administrator would be solid. Yeah, we've gotten like a little bit of relevant fixing. Maybe you're supposed to blue-red and play the Fortune Tellers and the Waterbending Lies and the Quenchia and the Knowledge Seeker and stuff. And you're just like base blue-red, and then you're just like splashing. The splash is kind of a lot, though. It's not really a splash. It's like, too many cards. Too many cards to be considered a splash. Maybe it works, though. Yeah, the Cruel Administrator. Maybe it works with the 2 engine rooms. Kind of wish I had that search for a basic gain 2 life lesson. Or really anything, huh? Really anything in colorless. You think the blue-white build I have looks really good? I think so, too. I'm just thinking about like how I should have boarded for that matchup, the matchup that I just played. Once they showed me a sweeper for United Front, then we're playing a game. Well, like, now maybe I have the United Front, they don't have the sweeper. And that's the game I'm trying to play. But, like, the Trebuchet would have matched up well against their flyers, for sure. No denying that. None of my red cards really have reach. Really awkward. The first half of Team Avatar seems good for breaking through a wall of flyers. Yeah, but it's like kind of necessary as a removal spell. It's not really a matter of breaking through. It's a matter of not dying, right? Not dying to their flyers, and also breaking through. It's not like I was getting held off by flyers, right? Like they played other creatures for blocking. I wasn't sitting there going, if only I could attack, you know. Only about 10 minutes left in the round. That's a really awkward amount. It's like not enough to play a cube match. I don't think that's a very useful thought, Kuna. Just the most useless when you're like trying to think about alternative plans and stuff to put yourself in the best position possible. Oh, we probably lose anyway. Not worth thinking about. Don't analyze stuff. Don't post-mortem. Just brush it off. No changes. A lot of improving at Magic is thinking like, okay, what could I have done differently here? And sussing that out. And doing the work to suss it through here. Like maybe we play another matchup where the opponent's got sweepers and stuff, where they have clean answers to United Front. And doing the work of sussing through the different builds that we might board into against that kind of a matchup could save us. I wonder if black-white does work. Oh, this isn't the discard spell. It's the combat check. This is the discard spell. It's just one. I was wondering if black-white does work, because then you get to play the indoctrination to get the sweeper. What if there's only one? Seems less likely. Less likely to line up. Your friend would often build 2 decks. Yeah, that's good to think about. Sometimes even like sleeve up the second deck, so that when you're sideboarding, the opponent doesn't really notice, because you're not taking the time to like re-sleeve your new build. I think just to pull the rug out from your opponent isn't a good enough reason. But if you're playing your match and you're thinking about, okay, who's advantaged here, who's the beatdown. Like for example, in a sealed PTQ back in the day, I was playing in a format where I knew ideally you were playing like a slow mid-range pile, just like grinding value and stuff. But if you got into a mid-range mirror, you were kind of trapped if the opponent had a much more powerful deck than you, because they would have inevitability. So you would beat all the non-mid-range decks just by virtue of being mid-range. But then later in the rounds, when you're playing for top 8, you would be in these like slow grindy matchups where you were actually dead money, where you had like no chance because the opponent had a much stronger pool than yours if you didn't have the nuts pool. And in that format, I always kept an aggro deck ready to board into. Just a way to like cheese out a game 3 if we got to that situation. Hey, Triplin, thanks for gifting us sub. Congratulations to Herbsman 2. Hell yeah. The indoctrination doesn't hit the sweeper. Oh, does it hit creatures? Yeah, just permanent cards. Yeah, it's just not even good. Yeah, the opponent's like gearing up for a control match. They might keep a super slow hand too. I've definitely like won into the top 8 of PTQs because my opponent was like keeping a hand that did nothing till turn 4, and I've boarded into a deck that's like 2-drop, 3-drop, and just curve out. Might have been correct to do this last round. It's Cruel Administrator. Yeah, Level Up Ascension is like mostly copying your Firebendings, but there is Cruel Administrator here, and that could be kind of sweet. Wait, does this copy Trebuchet? Whenever a creature you control causes a treat ability of that creature to trigger. Okay. So Ascension has no synergy with the tree bucket. Yeah, Fire Sages are good. The Disciples are pretty medium. Yeah, red looks deep, but it's not like as deep as it looks. I'm not huge on Firebending Student. The last Agni Kai is kind of mopey and kind of bad. I don't think we have a ton of ways of setting up the Tiger Dillo. It's a little slow here. I guess you play the Moonslayer just because it's got Menace. Maybe you play Raiders. And then you get these cards out of black for sure. You'll probably play Merchants. And Corrupt Court Official. And you think about these. We're only at 17 cards, Yeah, I think no matter how you cut it, your mana ends up kind of bad, or you end up having to play some real bad ones. If you play Jund, you get to play these Seismic Senses, which might help with fixing. But I think you have to, if you're doing Jund, I think you have to have red be the splash color. Which also works out kind of awkwardly like. Any other red cards that are good on the splash? You can play the Mongoose Lizard, I guess. It's not great. You're playing like 3 mountains then with a Mongoose Lizard. I don't love it. There's only 20 cards. Play the Lesson and the Bitter Work. I got 22. Could play 22 with 18 lands with 2 Impulse for lands. Right, exactly. Plasno head. That's why I like settled on the blue-white deck, is because it had like resiliency and stuff. Yeah, that nice churn and stuff, and a clean mana base, and good interaction. The plaza can be fixing. Really bad by itself, of course. It is interesting that I've got like 4 different shrines, right? The white one, the green one, the red one, the black one. Hey, round 4 is about to start. I like that green gets to play this in the mana base too. The inspectors are kind of bad here, huh? I don't really have a way of sacking them for value or anything. They're just like chilling. Like 1 sack outlet. You'd play a few more red cards. Yeah, playing more red cards strains the mana base more, which I don't love. I have not seen the Avatar animated series. I do not think I will. I tried once some years back and couldn't get into it. And the having the artwork on Magic cards has made me like it less. Like I already bounced off the art. It didn't like land for me. And I've like started to resent it. I saw it on I saw the spoilers for the next Magic set, and that I think that like really just like made me realize how much I dislike the art for Avatar. It was just like, holy shit. Seeing the Lorwyn cards that have been spoiled already, I was like, oh my god. I don't want to yuck anyone's yum, but this just hits the spot. God, it's so close, huh? So close to a solid hand. Because if you have lane number 2, then the troop gets you lane number 3, and you just get to go like guy, United Front, Temple. I'm not keeping a 1-lander on the play, though. Okay, we're going to keep this. We're going to bend the scroll, and we're just going to hit a couple of lands here. Hey, thanks for the luck, Cat Soul. Ebonite. I'm a little surprised he keeps getting work. I feel like it's been a long time since he put out a banger. So I'm actually going to airbending lessen that. And try and set up my 4th land drop here. Because my 4th land drop is worth a card, right? With these warriors. At least 1 card. They also missed their land drop. And the first time you trigger South Pole Voyagers, it kind of gets you closer to the second time. Opponent's probably stoked I'm spending my turn doing this. I thought about just like serving in and they block something and I rings. Yeah, I recommend the ally token too. Well, they didn't level up their submersible. Interesting. Oh shit. Hey, Genghis Alex, thanks for the sub. Thanks for 71 months. Get this out of my way. Yeah, I thought about playing the Air Temple last turn, but it kind of felt like they had some kind of trick the first time that they served in, making the block with the 3/3 like not free. And I think I'm just playing the Deserters out, even if I can't trigger the South Pole here. Another point of power in play. Get another body collecting counters from my Air Temple. Now they're down to 3. Well, at least this card didn't like clear out all my tokens this time. We're gonna need to replay the South Pole Voyager and draw some cards. So let's do this. Yeah. It's a whole lot of power I got coming into play next turn. Yeah, so they've had the sweeper there that blows out United Front. But I didn't see a reason to board into like a bunch of spot removal and stuff. I think we just keep on keeping on, keep on applying pressure. Have the Southern Air Temple as a way to like win, even if the United Front does get answered. Hordes of people buying TVs and appliances at barely reduced prices. I actually need a chest freezer. I should like fucking Remind myself to buy one of those. Chat was recommending a stand-up freezer because it's like harder to lose stuff at the bottom, which is logical, but chest freezer just like fits the space we have better. Kind of a land-hungry hand, huh? I'm actually gonna send this back. Or hungry is the wrong word. Land full. This looks way better to me. Do I have enough space in the freezer for now, or am I gorging on what is in there before it goes bad? So when I found it, I found it at a good time because it was like right as it was going, right as it had turned off and stuff was starting to cool down. And it's like cold outside right now. It's like in the 40s, 30s, 40s. So everything didn't go bad immediately, but I definitely didn't have space for everything that was in there. So we brought like the most expensive stuff inside. There was some like frozen lasagna that's taking up space in my fridge now that I'll have to eat sometime this next week. Stuff like that. But we did throw away some TV dinner type meals and stuff. Probably lost like, I don't know, 150 bucks worth of groceries. But we were able to make room in the inside freezer for like the expensive meats, like all the brats and stuff, and burgers. I don't really want them gaining life and scrying every turn, so I'm gonna offer a trade. They're not going to take a trade. Fair enough. Oh, amazing hippity. Yeah, when I had a fridge go out, I like regretted calling the repair guy. Oh, I should have blocked the 2/4/2, huh? Just two damage for no reason. It's possible I shouldn't have even tried to trade. Just untapped, play United Front for 2, and then South Air Templed. Hey. Yeah, it was cold enough that the ice inside was melting. Ugly paintings. It wasn't quite cold enough to just let it be an electric free box for the rest of the winter. A little interesting that they didn't bounce the Soka to prevent me just replaying the path. Try this again. I need some lands here, huh? Fuck. I guess. Now we're at 3 fucking life. That's a fucking bummer. Yeah, I think the one other... Obviously, you assume to draw land number 5 at some point, especially if you're flailing around cantripping and stuff. But the one thing that I could have done differently here was not trade Compassionate Healers and just play United Front for 2. And then I would have had 4 creatures receiving an Anthem. And then the turn after that, I play the Air Temple. And then I've got 4 creatures getting double Anthemed. And then that forces the opponent to like not be as aggressive, right? It would have removed a lot of pressure. The Submersible would have bounced a token. It wouldn't have like lined up super well here. The Submersible would have bounced a token, but it would have kept the Soka from getting in. They would have had to do something to answer my board at the very least. But we sat here without like interaction or a curve, and that was pretty bad. You have Razor Rings for the Hawk, but I think we're just like dead enough. Like, once you're in the spot where you're chumping the fucking Submersible, I don't know. I don't know if that's worth still playing. We're here anyway, might as well. Oh, it's only game 2. Nice. Is Blue-White the deck in the format? I don't know. You're only seeing like a very narrow range of matchups, right? Yeah, we can just... Yeah, the white cards are too good. The Voyager, the United Front. I can't cut them for black. We're also like, if you cut white for black, you also don't really get that many more removal spells, right? And there's 2 Epic Downfall, a Sold Out, and a Deadly Precision. And you lose Path, Razor Rings, Reversal, and like the Tempo Airbind Lessons. Yeah, I'm just gonna run it back. I don't think we've been the rabbit kangaroo. I think we're going to be holding on to that. You again. Oh, they got all their colors. Getting kind of punished for not just holding up Razor Rings. This next turn, though, I can Waterbending Lesson into holding up Razor Rings, which appeals to me a bit more. I'm hoping we don't get a repeat of last game where the Soka just got to run havoc. Actually, let's just fucking bin my rabbit. Can airbend the forecasting and then they don't get access to it. But then you have to give them either airbending or the rabbit from your graveyard. Kind of wonder if my best chance to win is to crack this clue and have my 1 in 28 of hitting Quench. This card's really nasty. The issue with cracking the clue is then if I reversal my forecasting, then the Soka gets to get in again and draw a card. Well, the airbend thing is annoying because they can airbend their own Azula. Yep. Don't love this. Didn't love them, like, smacking me for 6 either. Guess I was just supposed to give him the damn rabbit. That's hard, though. I think my best chance is finding United Front, because that one matches up okay against Azula at least. I guess we're giving Razor Rings this time. We didn't have enough mana for that Kunum. You are indeed imagining things. I would have had to wait a turn, eat 6, let the opponent deploy more things. Basically lose the game in a different way. I hate this so much. The black removal would have been nice there, huh? Just exile the Azula. But who knows if we would have even drawn it, right? Like, one of the reasons that we're playing cards and churning and stuff is because we have this blue card draw. Got me. Airbending less than their Azula for them. So many times we can give them Azula triggers. I think I was supposed to serve before playing out this forecasting. Oh, we can play the Earth Kingdom and then still serve in. And that's their Razor Rings. They do have a Razor Rings that I gave them. I think they can only use it on their turn. During your turn, you can cast cards exile with Azula. Hate that. I was so looking forward to playing the Temple and then lessening it immediately. Yeah, triple blocking the 2/2 sort of works. I'm kind of trying to play towards my X spell here. I do not have a second shrine in the deck. I do have more airbending lessons, though. Ooh, hate that for me. I didn't even get a block in. Kraken Oasis. Yeah, this Azula was a fucking disaster. Yeah, I wanted the South Pole Voyager, because if I landed my X spell, it would have gained me a bunch of life, a lot of room to work with. If we let this through, it actually reps lethal, because they can sack a creature, get a clue, and then sack the clue, just like grow it real fast. So I think I'm supposed to do this. It's sad. One of the best firebending cards is in blue-black. It's very odd for a blue-black creature to spit out red mana. It's just like not a thing that Wizards would have made if they weren't like reverse engineering from an existing IP. Like it reminds me of like ancient Magic. Like that might happen on like a card from 1992, you know? It doesn't feel like a modern Magic card. Oh, sup, Quench? How you doing? Welcome to the party, pal. Yeah, I think we're just a little dead here. And you can airborning lessen the pirate, but then you only have 2 blockers, and you're, you know, not alive. Oh well, GG's. Alrighty, friends. The starting off 2-0 gave me a little bit of hope, but I think my overall inexperience in the sealed format hurt me a bit. Lost a couple blue-white mirrors. Possible. Kind of a tricky pool in that there were a bunch of other potential builds, but none of them have really good mana, except for the one that I settled on. Yeah. The plan today was to go as long as possible, and then when I was dead, I was gonna go cook a Thanksgiving meal, and I think I'm gonna go get started on that. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the Friday early stream. Sorry we didn't get a little deeper in the tournament. Obviously that's what I would have preferred, but it was kind of fun. There's some interesting games in there. There's a few games where we like stumbled on mana and just like sat there with 4 lands, not doing anything. That was a little frustrating, but and then we had a long drawn out game where the United Front was in like the bottom 5 cards or 10 cards, whatever it was. But overall, a good time. Some fun matches. Much love, folks. Cheers.